Hello, I'm Liz Calloway, and this is the Module 3 reflection. And so, the first question we were asked about this module was to describe our thoughts about the videos and the lectures on this module and what we thought the primary message was and what that means as a future teacher. And so, to me, I thought the main focus of this module was to kind of emphasize the change in the internet, how much we're using it now compared to when it first came out or before it even was a thing. And I just think it kind of emphasized like the change and how much it's changed and progressed over the years. And I think what I mainly took out of that is that the internet and technologies change all the time. They are continuously changing. And I think by the time I become a teacher, technologies will be so much more different than they are now, and that's only in the next couple of years. So to me, the main message here is that as a teacher, you have to be ready and willing to adapt and be flexible and willing to learn new things and how to use new technologies and how to use the new things that are coming out on the internet and everything else. So basically that's the main thing that I took from this lesson, even though that might not be what the whole thing's about. Okay, and then second, we were asked about podcasts. So I listened to this podcast about the founder of Girl Scouts and how she kind of went from poverty to being a rocket scientist to being a CEO and the founder of Girl Scouts. And I thought it was really kind of impactful and empowering for women and for girls. And I think it's really important for like younger girls to see or listen to accomplished women and know that they can get there and that's what they can be, like their past doesn't define them, kind of thing. And so we were also asked, what are ways that technologies like broadcasting and wikis and blogging can be used in the classroom. And like the module said, we can use podcasting and blogging and wikis in the classroom like to help better organize students, to get their thoughts in one place. And I think with podcasting, that's something that teachers can easily use. Like we can record our lectures and put them online, especially for high school students and junior high, because they'll be more able to kind of maneuver the internet and really be more able to focus on videos or just listening. I guess younger students can also do the video as well, but I think if we do podcasts, video or audio, we can record our lectures, and that way students can see them later on. Or like I said in my last video, we can record, as teachers, we can record our lessons if students miss a day, and so they don't miss that lesson. That way they can go in and kind of look at it while they're sick or later and I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so I guess the module said to archive lectures, which it's the same point I guess I'm trying to make. My words just are not coming to me. So I think we can do podcasts to get our lectures down. That way students aren't missing anything if they're gone. And I think that we can also, as educators, pre-record our lessons. That way if we have to miss a day, like we know we're going to miss a day, then we're not missing a whole class period of learning. You can record it, and then a substitute can play video or play the audio or whatever, or students can take time individually to listen to those things and then do the work for that new lesson. So you're not missing a whole day of learning something new. And I think that blogging and wikis can also be used by students in a way that helps them better organize their thoughts. Like blogs, they can write down each lesson, what they're learning, and add on to it later on in the school year, and that way they can go back and look, okay, I learned this is how far I've come, kind of thing. And then wikis, I feel like all your students can come together, and this is the one spot where they can all kind of put their thoughts and ideas, share them, and add to it, kind of thing. So I think that would be really helpful too, because then all the students can see what the other students are writing, what they're learning, and kind of add on to that. And I think maybe those would be best used in like an older classroom, because younger students aren't really going to know what a blog is or how to use it. They're not going to really know how to type. They're just learning how to write and read. And so I think in an older classroom like high school and junior high, I think blogging and wikis would be really useful. And then we were also asked about social networking and if we thought it should be allowed in a preschool through 12th grade educational environment. Why or why not? Okay, so I think that social media can be really good for students. And maybe not everybody shares my opinion, but I think that social media, you can interact with students or parents so they know what's going on at all times. The community can see if we post on social media certain things, and with the permission from the parents, of course, if we can put stuff on about classrooms and then the whole community can see how the children are learning and what's really going on in the schools. And I think that would really help with like maybe funding and stuff like that for groups like and organizations. I think that would be really awesome to kind of incorporate in social media so that the community is involved. I also think, like I was saying, I think social media can be really good too, because then you can update the parents. You can let them know what their kids are doing throughout the day, share pictures with them and whatnot. So I think it would be pretty awesome. And then I know that the school district that I live in has some social media, and they don't usually share pictures, I don't think, but they share information about like sports activities or stuff to parents that maybe the kids don't relay. So I think that social media can be really helpful, like Facebook, because a lot of parents use Facebook. If the school district gets on and makes a social media account, that way the parents can connect. I think it can be really useful for a school environment. And then the last question asked about bookmarking, what we thought. Which cloud-based bookmarking tool did we utilize, and what were our thoughts about using it? So I downloaded the Diigo D-I-I-G-O bookmark extension on my Chrome app, and I really liked the look of it, and I would like to explore it more because I didn't really do a whole lot of exploring, but I like that it wasn't just like a bookmarking tool. You could highlight and make notes and whatever else to your page if you want to. And I think that can be really useful, especially as a teacher, because then you're kind of more organized and you've got that all on like all your bookmarks and all your notes and everything just in that one spot. So I think that can be really helpful, and I really like the extension. But that's the end of my reflection for this module. Thanks for listening.